It's always fascinates me how a single line of words turn into an interesting image. I usually think of a image like short sketches, blocking, coloring, then refining, then the final image. That's how I thought the images are made. That's how we work in VFX or art. But this is completely different and I was curious. When an AI image tools like Midjourney, DALL started showing up, my first reaction was not panic or excitement. It was confusing because this is not how we train to think. We think in like plates, mats, light passes, and layers. AI seems to skip all that and jump into a final image. So let's slow down and explain in a compositing terms. 2022 was a real turning point for the public facing AI boom. Before 2022, AI was mostly behind the scenes used by researchers, tech companies, and data scientists. There are few things that triggered AI boom in 2022. In 2017, Attention is All You Need was released. It introduced transformers and solved a core problem in AI, how machines understand context, not just individual words. It is an important breakthrough. And in later January 2021, OpenAI released Clip. A clip could look at an image and understand which text describe it, and the other way around. For the first time, language and images lived in the same meaning space. In a simple terms, each image has unique captions. In August 2021, a small non-profit in Germany released Lion 400 dataset. It was a open source, 400 million images of captions and pairs with images collected from public web using Common Crawl. Lion did not store images, it only stored metadata like link, clips, captions, embeddings. And around the same time, GPUs and cloud computers became accessible. Platforms like Hugging Face, RunPod, cloud providers made a large scale training possible outside big tech. And in 2022, Stable Diffusion trained on it and went open source, and AI images started become viral. Later in 2022, ChatGPT launched and Midjourney. AI became a sudden a simple interface and started a cultural movement. That's when everything is clicked. When you type a prompt like a robot standing in the rain, cinematic lighting, the AI does not read like a checklist. It reads like loads, just like client saying, make it darker, make it cinematic, rain should feel heavy, very vague, very interpretive. The words are converted into numbers that represent meaning, not the spelling. Robots become a shape concept. Rain become a contrast and streak patterns. Cinematic become framing and depth. Still no image and just an intent. And this is where the most part people get wrong. AI does not start with a sketch. It does not draw outlines. It starts with a pure noise, full static like a TV without no signal. No robot, no rain, nothing. If you are a compositor, imagine starting with a plate like 100% grain. The images appears because the model removes the noise step by step. At every step it asks, does it move closer to the idea of robot in the rain? If yes, keep it. If no, remove it. Early steps feels like blocking big shapes, camera angle, composition. And the mid steps looks like look dev, lighting and direction, depth, saturation and subject clarity. And final steps are polish, textures, details and style. If you ever refined a key or a balanced noisy plate, this feels familiar. The analogy is like click with compositors. Imagine you start with a noisy plate. You have direction notes. You keep removing the noise in a way that supports the notes. And that is the image generation. The prompt is the note and the noise is the starting plate and AI keeps what fits the intent. It's not copying images, it's not searching a library, it's predicting what should survive. So people ask, why does the same prompt gives different images? Same reason two artists interprets a note differently. The starting noise changes, the cleanup path changes. Change the seed, change the seed and you start changing the grain. Change the wording and you start changing the direction. That's why the prompt feels soft, not exact. That is not art direction, not code. And one more thing, AI does not think at full resolution. It works in a compressed space like proxies. Only at the end does it convert to a pixel. Same idea as low res comp first and final render later. Once I stopped thinking AI as a drawing and I started a guided denoising, it made sense. That is not a magic or cheating, it's a different pipeline. As you understand compositing, you can already understand this. A prompt become an image the same way a good calm emerges from noise, guided by intent, refined by step by step.